What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for tuning in to a favorites video. I got some beauty, got some fashion for the month, what has felt like the longest month in the history of months, January. Let's get into it. Okay, first, for the hairstyle, it's very complicated that I have just been loving. It's been a go-to for me when I'm on my third, fourth, fifth day of unwashed hair. But it goes a little something like this. So you bunch it in the back, kind of like a ponytail. You twist it, and then you take this really high-tech brand new doodad clip, and you go like this. That's what you do. Then, if you really want to spice it up, you pull this out for a situation that's a little like this. Oh, she is beauty. She is grace. She is a new mom with no time on her hands. And another hot tip to go along with this ultra-modern hair hack, see this white space here? Get yourself a nice pair of earrings and all of a sudden it looks like you put thought and effort into your look. I do not have earrings in my immediate, like within arm's reach, and therefore I will not be wearing them today. That is a choice I am making. But if you want to, I find it pulls like the look together, if you know what I mean. Ooh. Pump the brakes. We need a fast Manny time. Nope. Editing Bailey will hate that transition. What am I doing? Boom. Manny done. These, as always, are Impress press-on nails, which I've always loved. If you're new here to the channel, that sounds like a pee diaper. It sounds like it was taken care of. What was I saying? Nails. New appreciation for press-on nails. I have always loved them, but now more than ever, press-on nails because they are so fast to apply and yet, ooh, perfect manicure, no dry time, no chipping for like 2 weeks. Yes, please. These, like I said, from Impress, they're color line, which I love because it's nothing but solid colors. In the shade Ready or Not, I would have told you they have a collaboration with OPI. If you had asked me, I would have told you this was Cajun shrimp, but maybe it's not orange enough. Either way, love these nails, love this color. Ooh, clashing with my top. Ignore that. Let's move on to foundation. I haven't really had a favorite, but I did reach back into my Dior Air Flash spray foundation, so let's go ahead and do that. Wow, she is excited to be used today. Back to the hair quick while I apply this foundation. Ooh, chilly. I won't talk too much about why I love this because I mentioned this in many previous favorites videos. It's a really light coverage, but still evens you out really nicely, but also looks very natural, fast to apply, fast to dry. The end. While I'm applying this, let's go back to hair because I need your help. I either need to be convinced to just make a change to my hair or talked off of a ledge. One of you guys was kind enough in the comment section of a recent video to compliment my hair, saying that whatever I was doing or not doing, which is absolutely the case, was working for me and looking good. And I really appreciate that because, like I let this person know, I have been in such a mood to change my hair. Whether it's a chop, I had highlights put in before I had Finley, but now I kind of want to go darker, even though we're about to, slowly get into springtime and that's when hair color tends to lighten up. I want to go darker. I want to chop it all off and I want to do it yesterday. So it actually came, I realized I've been wanting to cut it short for a while, but I was just found the style that I loved when I was watching Cowboy Bebop, which total bummer it wasn't renewed for a second season, but that's not the point. One of the main characters has this super cute short cut. My hair certainly wouldn't look like that because it's just very fine. I think it would lay a lot flatter and wouldn't hold a curl or any sort of texture as well. But one can dream. And, it might also be like faster to dry. But then I received that lovely compliment, like I said, and it was from doing nothing. I literally gave myself a trim, same color since before I had Finn, have done nothing else, and that's the state of my hair. Doesn't look the worst, but I'm not like loving it. I don't know. What do you think? Is anybody else also feeling just like this intense urge to do something different, dramatic with their hair, their makeup, their clothes, whatever? What is it, the new year? What is it? Concealer. This is one I've been using, but is actually not a favorite, is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I've been using it because, regularly, because I've been wanting to do like a full face NARS. They're just some like long time NARS classics that have been on shelves for 10 years. So it's more like trying them again to see, like, are they really that good to have justified being on shelves for that long? And NARS Radiant Concealer, Radiant Creamy Concealer especially, is one that I've always wanted to try because it had a hold on people for a moment here on YouTube. Just like everyone was using it. And I gotta say, not my favorite. Not my favorite. It is a light coverage, like it is a very natural looking concealer, but for me, it's just like not quite enough. And it could be because I have a little bit more that I want to cover, especially like the discolor. I mean, you could see before I applied, like the discoloration of my inner eyes from likely lack of sleep is just a little bit more pronounced than it used to be. So maybe that's just what I'm feeling, is I would like a little bit more coverage to look a little bit more awake, but I also am just not super impressed with the texture, the way it lays on my skin. I don't know. I am not, don't feel like I missed out a whole lot when I did not get in on the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer with the first round. Now, what is a favorite and has actually dethroned a previous favorite is the M Cosmetics Micro Fluff Sculpting Brow Cream in the shade, my shade is Classic Brunette. This, I used to really like the Makeup Forever. Basically, it's the same sort of brow cream thing, and it's nice enough, but this tints just like the other one did. It holds your brows in place, it fluffs them, but it holds your brows in place so much better than the Makeup Forever did for me. So it's kind of like an all-in-one. It fluffs, it fills, it shapes, and then it holds that shape all in one product. I don't know if you could hear that. That was a four-wheeler that has been driving around the neighborhood. Texas got what will likely be its one and only snow for the year. And so we've had basically 2 snow days where everything's kind of shut down. It's just now melting today, but one of our neighbors, not sure who, owns a four-wheeler that they have been driving around the neighborhood. And now the streets are relatively cleared just because everything's melted. And they just keep like going round and round in circles in our neighborhood. I'm not sure what that's about, but that's what you heard. Super quick on the face, I'm going to go in with the NARS Laguna Bronzer. I am not going to be using the Orgasm shade in this duo though. Again, another sort of iconic product that I got for that NARS video that I am working on. Who knows when it will come out. But spoiler alert, NARS, or the Orgasm blush, is not as good as I remember it being. It's not as pigmented as I like my blush these days. So who knew? That is one thing I didn't expect because it's a product from NARS that I had tried. Some of these things like the concealer were totally new to me, but the blush, specifically in this blush bronzer duo, not new to me. And I feel differently about it now than I have in the past. Go figure. Now, before we get into the blush that I am going to use, let's do a super quick eye using the Sydney Grace Be Mine palette. This launched a little over a week ago as I filmed this, and it's just like a really nice brown and purple palette with the classic Sydney Grace eyeshadow formula. So it's unbelievably creamy, both the mattes and the shimmers especially, but the mattes, they just do a good matte. Some of the feedback, I posted a short here on YouTube and the same video over on Instagram, and one comment that I saw consistently from people who said they weren't going to pick this up is the light tones weren't light enough. Like they have done in the past, this is the light version, and then Sydney Grace also did a deep version where I think it's mostly the mattes. There might have been a shimmer. They swapped the lighter shades out here and they put deeper shades, so it's better suited for, you know, medium, deep, and deeper skin tones. And the criticism I've seen is that for the light palette, the light shades in here are not light enough, especially for the brow bone shade. There isn't, you know, this is really as light as you get in the mattes unless you want to go purple here. These are both shimmers, but if you want like a matte brow bone highlight and you're very fair, there's nothing in here for you, is what I'm hearing. And I think that's totally valid. So just a heads up. But if you feel like this is a good selection for you, it's a really nice palette. Today, right now, I am just going to stick to some comfort zone shades. What I have found, first up, I'm going in with All Mine, which is right here. What I've been finding is that if I do eyeshadows lately, I have been going for comfort zone shades and doing eyeshadow looks that I know are going to make me feel good and like super, not super glam, but just good and glam. I have been taking fewer risks and experimenting less because sometimes I'll do those looks, and while they're fun and they're a fun way for me to like express myself artistically with makeup, sometimes you just need those days where you play with makeup. They don't always turn out the way I want them to. And so I've been finding more recently that when I take the time to do my eyeshadow, I just want something that I know is going to be a sure thing, that I know looks good and makes me feel good, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna go for something quick and mostly brown tone. There was All Mine. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Love Me over here. This, by the way, is on a Makeup Geek soft dome brush. They relaunched some of their eye brushes and they sent me, I believe they sent me all of them. And so I've been using them in those short little videos that I've been posting both here and on Instagram. And they're good. They're really good. I haven't had a chance to wash them yet to see how they, you know, weather a washing, but so far they're performing really nicely. I mean, that's unsurprising. I've owned Makeup Geek brushes for like back when they first launched brushes, and they were good then. They've updated them. They are since good now. And this is certainly living up to my expectations and my experiences with them so far. Now, making this quick, the last shade I'm using is Baby Cakes right here. I'm taking this on my finger. These blend really beautifully, whether you're using a finger or a brush, but I just find a finger gives you the most intense, not just pigmentation, but texture payoff, because these are can be like lightly applied for a soft shimmer or really built up for a high shine metallic. Just taking that same brush that I was using before, blending that in with the outer corner color that I used, and boom, a 3 shadow eye look. And I'm telling you, it's just like easy glam. Might need to refresh my concealer though. Now, mascara is another one. I have moved on to a new favorite. I was loving the Victoria Beckham Future Lash mascara, but in case you missed it, I did put up a video comparing it to a drugstore alternative, the L'Oreal Double Extend Beauty Tubes mascara, which has both a primer and a mascara. So I'm just gonna put that on super quick. The one thing I don't love about this though is it does take longer to apply, because I feel like you have to wait for the primer to dry before you can go in and apply the mascara to get the full effect. And I do find, oh boy, the little stopper, or is that mascara? Is that dried mascara or is that the stopper? Ew. Ooh, here's hoping we don't need that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, just that this, I don't think that was necessary. This takes longer to apply. It's this would happen. My mic stopped recording, so I don't know where we left off. I like this mascara. Some of you guys can wear it without the primer. I find I need the primer with it, but I love it because it's a really great dupe for the Victoria Beckham Future Lash Mascara. Let's move on. Okay, blush. So the blush that I am going to wear is from M Cosmetics. It is kind of a throwback. I bought a bunch of her new stuff and I realized that I had serum blush. That's what this is called, in the shade Soft Amethyst. I really loved these when I first bought them. And so like I said, in trying some of her newer items, I thought I would also go back to the brand's older items that I know I love to incorporate them with those. And this is one of them. I always forget sometimes though, how much I really need of this when I apply it, because they look very pigmented fresh out of the dropper, but they blend out really nicely. Yeah. Oh, I love that shade. Lips. Let's talk about lips. Oh no, before we jump into lips, the highlighter that I've been using, which actually is no highlighter at all, once again from M Cosmetics, it's the Cosmic Pearl Dewy Eyeshadow in the shade Moonrise. I love this as a facial highlighter. Yes, you can wear it on your eyes, but honestly, it's kind of a moussey texture, and I find that it doesn't fully dry. Not that it doesn't dry down, because it's definitely like a cream to powder sort of situation, but on my eyes at least, I find it creases. Like, because it is a soft, squishy mousse sort of texture, it creases on my eyelids. And so even though these are meant to be eyeshadows, I prefer them as a facial product. This one specifically as a highlighter. I also got this shade, but I haven't used it yet. Venus, which is like a pinky, honestly, it's kind of like NARS's Orgasm, right? A peachy pink with a gold shimmer, with like really lots of shimmery gold shimmer. But I, like I said, haven't used it yet. So maybe that, I'm assuming that's going to be another good shade that I like as a highlighter as well. But right now I know that I love Moonrise. Just such a gorgeous texture, such a gorgeous finish. It's like a lit from within dewy sort of look. Or, I mean, you could go high shine metallic. It's one of those, but just gives you that kind of flexibility. Now let's talk lips. Another M Cosmetics thing, and this will come as no surprise to anyone because this is what I've just been throwing on at the end of any look I feel like I've been filming and talking about recently, is the Lip Cushion Tinted Lip Luminizer in the shade Venetian Rose. This is super, for me, it's a Your Lips But Better shade, and the finish is super balmy. You know, it's pigmented, but it's balmy, and so it's super comfortable. You know, not particularly long wearing, but very easy to apply, especially on the go. Comfortable, like I said, here in the winter, and I just have had kind of chronically dry lips during and even post-pregnancy. So, and the shade in particular, for me, is a good go-to for basically any look I like to wear, whether it is ultra dramatic, ultra minimal. It just polishes the look off really nicely. And that's where we're at. Do I love this hair? I don't know. Normally this is a go-to for me, but I'm not into it. What can we do? Does it matter? Are we going anywhere? No, we are still kind of snowed in, so it doesn't matter, but just, you know, for the sake of pulling ourselves together today, that's it. Now let's talk clothes. No, let's not talk about clothes. Let's show you the clothes. Okay, here we are. Many days later, because no video gets filmed in the same day anymore, and also different look using more purples from that Sydney Grace Be Mine palette. I've really been liking it, but that's besides the point. It's time to talk about the jeans that I have been loving. So after having Finley, I was looking for some new jeans in general, right? I'm a size bigger. I just wanted something that fit better rather than waiting to like lose the weight and like put that kind of pressure on myself. It's like, no, I'm gonna buy couple pairs of jeans that I feel really good in. And honestly, for as much as I love sweatpants, especially working from home, there is sometimes something about jeans that just get me in more of a work mindset. So wanted some jeans, and when I tell you, it was hard to find some that I liked the cut of, the fit of, the waist of. I think I tried like 16 pairs of jeans, no joke. And ultimately I got 3 that I really like and some cuts that I didn't like. I've been a pretty diehard skinny jean lover for years and years now, but word on the fashion street is that skinnies are out and like mom jeans and boot cut and straight leg are now in, and so I'm trying some new cuts and I have to say I really like them. My other desire was getting super high-waisted pants, which thank goodness, even though low-rise are coming back, high-waisted, ultra high-waisted are still in. So I was still able to get some of those because I have a C-section scar that I was just like, you know, not where I wanted my jeans to hit. So I have 3 jeans that I have picked up that I absolutely love. And let's get to it. Okay, first up are these from the brand Not Your Daughter's Jeans. These are a darker wash, super high-waisted. Like I said, really like how high they come up. And they are, I forget if these are straight leg or boot cut. Honestly, I don't really know the difference, but they're wider than a skinny, and I really like the proportions of them. I really love this pair of jeans. They have some light stretch in them, and what I used to run into with higher waisted pants like this with stretch is that they'd really stretch out when you sat down. Hasn't been the case with these. I have been wearing these quite a bit lately, and the waistband still stays like where it needs to, even though it has some stretch into it. And at the end of the day, these aren't like, you know, falling off and looking and feeling too baggy. They hold their shape well. What is this? Next pair. Okay, now these are from the brand Jag. Once again, a stretch jean. They are a lighter wash, not skinny. I can't remember if they're boot cut or straight leg though, honestly. I'll list the actual types of jeans down in the description below as always, but these have an elastic waist. Again, very high-waisted, super comfy. The top is from Free People, which I have been loving just flowy tops in general, but yeah. Really like these jeans too. And once again, even though they're stretched, they don't stretch out to the point where I feel like, you know, they're just like baggy at the end of the day. They still retain their shape, but I do think these are supposed to be on the baggier side just by nature of the fit. So they have a little bit of give, more so than the jeans I just had on, but not too much. Next pair. Okay, and last up are skinnies, because old habits die hard. You know what I'm saying? These are from Madewell, and I like them for the most part. They are super, the high-waisted, most high-waisted skinnies I have, but I did have to buy a belt with these because, unlike the other two, these have some stretch in them, but as a result, they do, with wear throughout the day, tend to get loose around the waist area. So I had been wanting a chunkier belt like this anyway, so I got this. It's been a nice, and I always want to do like some sort of tuck, whether it's all the way in or just the front or the side. So this gave a really nice accent for, you know, when I do have it tucked. So these are the skinnies. Done. Okay, and I think that, oh, and this top is Free People. I have it in blue and white as well. It's like, it's a super comfy top, and it's one of those where it's like, is it pajamas? Is it loungewear? Is it going out wear? It's everything, because that's how we wear it. You know what I'm saying? It's super comfy, so I just wear it all the time. That is it for my favorites, my fashion favorites, my beauty favorites. As always, I would love to hear what you guys have been loving for the month of January. I cannot believe just crawling by. And February, now as I film this, is like flying by. So isn't that always the way? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.